It's like Spice and Wolf, but not really. So I just finished watching, I think it's pronounced Maoyu, which is a newer anime. You might have seen it in Jesu Otaku's recent Winter Derby thing. I'm pretty sure that was one of the things there, because I remember her talking about it. Can't remember if she said she was going to continue watching it or not. I don't think she did. But about a week and a half ago, my buddy Cliff called me and wanted to hang out and watch some anime, and he showed me this, talked about it, and I'm like, that sounds familiar. And then I remembered that I'd seen it on a Jesu Otaku video, and so I took a look at it, and it's very interesting. I like it. I actually really like it. And I'm looking forward to a possible Season 2. I haven't looked up yet to see if it's done well, or see if they're already planning a Season 2 or anything. I've just seen the first season. Basic premise is, it's in a fantasy medieval times world, which a lot of stuff I like is. It's like early Renaissance, maybe? Early Renaissance era, like just leaning into the Renaissance times. There are two types of people in the world. There are humans and there are demons. They're, other than appearance and some characteristics, they're pretty similar in almost every way. There's constant war, though, between them two, over anything from, like, land, food for land, or land for food, anything like that. There's conflict between them, and there's wars. And there's two main figures that appear in these wars. There's a demon king, and then a hero that rises up from the human side that destroys the demon king. This time, the hero has risen up, and he's gathered his party to go and, literally, he's a party. He's got him, a rogue, a paladin-type woman, a mage. It's a party. World of Warcraft. Whatever. He gets them all together, and what he does is he goes and charges the Demon King castle. When he gets there, he's like, alright, you guys, I'm going to leave you guys here. You guys head back because this is going to be dangerous, but I'm the hero, so I have to do this. And then he goes off into the castle. He's about to kill the Demon King when she turns around, and she's a gorgeous redhead with a giant chest. Now, of course that stops his blade, causes something else to get sharp, but that's beside the point. He doesn't kill her, because she starts saying stuff like, I have a proposition for you, will you hear me out? To which he does. She's like, this has got to stop. There's no way that the world can progress while our two people are constantly killing each other over anything. And she is very intelligent. Unlike the previous demon kings before her, she's not a warrior. She is a scholar, and in fact, she goes by the title Crimson Scholar when she's spending her time in the human world. And she's developed these new agricultural methods to help try and fix the economy and keep the economy better and everything in both lands. And she wants to test these out and make sure that they can work. And so her and the hero form a contract binding them to each other, so pretty much they're married. And they go off in hiding to test out these new agricultural things and whatnot and try and make the world a better place. They're trying to start a reform, pretty much, is what they're trying to do. They're starting to start an economic reform that will improve the land, the people who live in the lands. They're just trying to make the world better. And I can get behind that. Now, this anime has a weird concept to it. in that none of the characters have names. There's no character with a name in this. Every single character goes by a title, or something that people call them. So the two main characters are, well, two of the main characters, Hero, which is what he's called, unless he goes by Black Knight, or when he's in this demon armor going around whatnot, he goes by whatever title fits the situation. But his main name pretty much is Hero. And then Demon King, which is the girl. Weird. But she, for the most part, goes by Crimson Scholar, because most of the entire first season, at least, it takes place in the human world. They only go to the demon realm at, like, the very end. I'm not sure what they're going to do in a second season if they get one. That's something I'm curious about, but I'm not, like, on the edge of my seat curious about. I just kind of want to know if they're going to be able to fix the world. Because so far the reforms they've been doing have been causing a lot of problems, despite the fact that they've been benefiting, like, they're obvious benefits, but when you show the world that, when you show a world of nobility and serfs, that the serfs are just as valuable as the nobles, that's going to cause some tension, and it causes a whole new war that goes on in this. And it's just them trying to fix the world, and I love concepts like that. I love the idea of trying to fix the world, because we live in a world that's a little screwed up. Yeah, it's quite screwed up. There's a lot that can happen that can be fixed, and I'm always down for someone who's got a good heart trying to fix something, unless of course what they're doing is damaging. If what they're doing is damaging, it's stupid. There's many different things. There's like one of their antagonists is a king who doesn't like the fact that they're proving that the serfs don't just have to be slaves to the nobility. The serfs, with these new farming methods, can become even more valuable, and with that, more prosperity will come, and with that prosperity, they won't have to be serfs. They can be their own people and still keep doing this, because they're gonna want to keep doing this because it's benefiting their lives. It's benefiting the lives of the people they love and the people around them, and so they don't have to be slaves to do this. They want to do this because they're benefiting, and I like that. I like that idea, and that's pretty much what the show is so far. It may sound boring the way I'm talking about it, but the real heart of this show lies in the characters and their relationships. Hero and the Demon King are adorable together, because she's intelligent and everything. She's also self-conscious, because, I'm going to say this right now, I'm pretty sure she's larger than every other woman featured in this anime. In body type, she's a larger body type than them. Now, she's not, like, huge. I don't want to sound mean, but she's not, like, huge. But she's bigger than all the other girls in the anime. And she's self-conscious about that, because she happens to like the hero. The hero, while being a master of tactical warfare and an expert swordsman and wizard, pretty much, he has a lot of magic powers that he can use, he's not that bright. He is very, very not bright. And that causes for some very interesting bits between them. Because he's not, like, stupid. He's not like this guy can't read the word "the" in a book. No, he's not that stupid. He's just not. He's not a studied person. He's not a really highly educated person. All he knows is fighting. But he is intelligent enough to do things like wonder about the concept of what he's doing. He knows what he's doing when he's helping. He knows what the Demon King wants. He knows that he wants that too, and he knows he's going to try and fix it, and he's doing it. And he's conscious of the fact that he is a warrior. He contemplates what he's going to do after the fighting is all over. He doesn't really know. He's not, like, stupid like that. He's not stupid where he wouldn't, like, even contemplate anything like that. He's got an intelligence. He's just not a learned person. And she is the first Demon King that isn't a brutish warrior. She doesn't want bloodshed everywhere. And she's highly smart. She's highly intelligent, a very learned person. And just the way they connect, and when other characters are brought in, like old people that he used to have in his party on the way over there, who had some histories with him. It's interesting. I love it. And my favorite part so far, there's been a lot going on in this show. My favorite thing that I've seen is just when they're in this village, testing out their new economic strategies, and just interacting. And it's really good. It's really nice because each of the characters are they're all unique. Like, they don't need names. I know I mentioned they don't have names earlier. They don't need them because when a character like mentions, like, there's a maid that works for the Demon King, and she's just called Head Maid. And when I first heard it, I'm like, oh god, there's gonna be like 50 other maids, and I'm gonna get it confused. No. She's very unique. Anytime they only drop the names, the titles, the names, they only drop them every so often, and only when they're particularly talking about somebody. And because you learn who these people are, it's very obvious that, oh, that's who they're talking about. It doesn't confuse you at all. And I like that. I like that very, very well. The name doesn't stick to the character, the personality sticks to the name. So whatever their personality is, you know that, like, when somebody's trying to find a way to put this in perspective, like, you know, like, say you know that the head maid likes a certain food, and then, like, in the middle of an episode or something about food, apparently, somebody says something pertaining to that food, and eventually says head maid. By the time they say head maid, you already know who they're talking about because of the character's personalities being so, like, unique. You know who they're talking about, and that's really good character creating, which I love in stories. I love characters, and that's pretty much what I got so far. This anime is very interesting. I said at the beginning of this that it's like Spice and Wolf, but not really. That's because it does deal a lot with, like, economics and everything. But what I think what makes it, because everyone I know has said, oh, it's got that Spice and Wolf vibe. I'm like, not really. This is a pretty different vibe from Spice and Wolf. And I love Spice and Wolf. It's one of my all-time favorite animes, mangas, and books. I love it to death. I have the mega collection that has all the Blu-rays of both seasons, including all the DVDs of both seasons. I have that. I have the books and mangas over there. I love it. And what I think separates these two shows primarily is that Spice and Wolf, because it's about merchants, it fits that it goes into really deep discussion and analysis of the in-depth economics and everything. Like, you figure out everything about, like, the coins, all the different coins. Spice and Wolf tries to educate its viewers so that you know what the rest of the plot will be about, because you can follow along, pretty much. It does deal with economics, but it doesn't deal with it in a way that needs educating to understand. It's pretty simplistic. Like, they don't, like, oh, this gold plus this gold will equal these silvers, so we're going to trade these golds to that gold. And no, you can follow along with this one a lot easier without any education about it. And it's not, like, going to treat you stupid. It's still economics. Economics takes some intelligence to talk about, and it just doesn't need that in-depth of an explanation, which I think actually might do better for the show, because then it allows more focus to be on the characters instead of on what the characters are going to do. And that doesn't mean that they don't do anything. They do a lot of stuff in this show. But that's my basic talk about the premise and the characters and everything. If I could think of anything else, there is one amazing thing about this show that tops how awesome this show could be. The characters, they're all very detailed. They're all very nice looking. They all have nice personalities, except for the douchebags. But even the douchebags look cool. Sometimes the animation for them will get a little stuck, but not that noticeably. Nowhere near as bad as Naruto. Oh my god! I've tried watching that again, and I had to stop. Oh, ouch! It's painful to watch. But this particular show, every single background of any shot looks like a Thomas Kincaid painting. This show's scenery is gorgeous. I highly recommend, like, artists or people who like anime and like drawing anime or painting anime stuff, take a look at this show's first episode and look at some of the scenery that pops up. It is drop-dead gorgeous, and it makes me kind of forgive the slight, sometimes, not as often as I'm making it sound like, animation hiccups, because of how beautiful everything looks in this. There are actually some really good animation points too, mostly in battles, because there are fights that make me really want to sit down and play Mountain Blade Warband again. There are some pretty good fights, and the fights, they are intense. They get intense. And they don't hold back on anything. No, people are getting shot in the head with crossbow bolts. People are getting cut like into pieces. People are getting stabbed, run over by horses. It's pretty intense, and the animation kind of takes a good quality upwards, a good, like, budget up with the fight scenes and everything, and I really like that. All in all, I can highly recommend this show. I can even recommend it to people who aren't really that much into anime. If you're trying to, like, get somebody to sit down and watch an anime with you, I can recommend this one as one of them, because it's nice. It's very nice. It does get a little confusing at the very last episode. Not a lot of things have been explained, so I'm a little confused about that. Like, they have cities in the demon realm, but the demon realm is also a world beneath the world, but those cities of the demon realm aren't in the world beneath the world. It's stuff I'm going to have to take into second watch, but this is why it's called initial impressions. So I'm going to have to take a second watch at some of these later episodes to kind of figure out what the heck the demon realm really is. That's all I got for it right now. I highly recommend this one. I really like it. It's not for everyone, obviously. Some people might find it boring, some people might think it's stupid, but from my point of view, it's worth a watch. And I'm going to be putting a link to it, Crunchyroll, down there. So, like I always do with animes. So, take a look at it if you're interested. If not, more power to you.